It's time for the Coach's Corner with the Academy of Holy Angels head coach Jim Gunderson. Great to have you on board, Jim. I hear you're in classes in session already, and it's back to the grind. How are things going so far?
It's going good. It's just keeping the guys focused. For one, they see their friends and classmates they haven't seen before, so now they're kind of focused on catching up, and you got to get their attention back on football after a school day.
Yeah, of course, because now they don't just come from home and they don't do that. So, obviously you've got twice as many seniors at least on this edition that you had last year, and I think we all agree that experience is such a huge factor in playing to the next level in the postseason. How do you feel about the makeup of this team from class to class and the abilities with that?
Well, it's like you said. Nothing. You can't replace experience. We've got about 17 guys, actually 19 guys who have started games for us last year. So, just coming into camp and actually just coming into the summer into camp, you could just do a lot more with the guys because there's all that retention from all the experience from the previous year. And they're used to new situations, so nothing kind of catches them off guard in terms of what we try to throw at them in practice.
Well, and it kind of helps, too. You've got some guys coming back at some key positions on the line, on both lines, actually, and then at the skill positions, too, as well. When it goes to implementing what you want executed, how much? I know we always ask that question, but, can you quantify how big that is? Not only do they have the year of knowledge and the year of success and failures at their positions last year, but they're also a year stronger and smarter. Do you see all that coming together with some of these guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Just starting with physically, our whole offensive line is up about 15 to 20 pounds across the board.
Wow.
Even our running back, Jack Anderson, went from 205 to 225 this year, and he hasn't lost a step in his 40s. So the guy's really committed to the off season and the weight room. So physically, they're just more mature, and you can see it in what they're able to perform. And now just from last year, just getting them to line up correctly, execute the right assignment on the play. Now they're executing the right details to be successful with their assignment. And
so have you felt pretty good overall with their details and how practice has been working out from the start of the year to now? Yeah, that's been our philosophy, is discipline and attention to details and stressing that it's all about the little things. So, everywhere from how we warm up to, how we execute a play has been about the details. And they've been responding very well. So what are your thoughts as far as this group is looking at their strengths? There are a lot that you can point to with this group of players, but what would you say are some of the key components to strengths to this year's edition? Well, aside from what we've talked about with experience and their knowledge of the position and the game and what we're trying to accomplish, just physically, I think our speed has always been kind of our strong suit, but now we've added some guys that have gotten a little bit stronger through the off season. So I'm looking for a big improvement with our offensive line. Should be one of the most improved areas that we've had. With that makes things a lot easier for those guys who were carving it up anyway with an evolving line, which is impressive. When you look ahead to the game with the Hill Murray Pioneers, how important is it to get some? I know you're going to have scrimmages coming up here this Saturday, or you had a scrimmage this past Saturday. But how important is it to get it real and where it means something and it counts? You find another level there, don't you? And then, how do you manage getting these guys ready for what this means? Yeah, it's just getting them prepared for that kind of emotional high you feel for that first game that you can't duplicate in a scrimmage or in a practice. Where you waste a lot of energy just dealing with the emotion of the day and the emotion of the opening kickoff and just trying to paint that perspective in their minds to be ready for that kind of initial jolt of fatigue just from the emotional output you're putting forth throughout the day. So I think that's the big thing. And then just keeping them grinding through, first game jitters, first game mistakes, and just play the next play. What I was going to tell you, what I've noticed about your team, and this was something that all of these kids can take with them from last year, was, okay, let's say something bad happens. So you do have that emotion to start, and sometimes you get punched in the face. And we saw it. It was, especially in the section final, the score didn't indicate how close that thing was down the stretch, where your team fought back, and they fought back the game before.
they did a really good job of not panicking. I mean, you have to say, wow, we've got that with all of these other great intangibles that you brought forward from last year. Do you think if you can put all that together, you have a championship caliber football team this year?
Well, I think we definitely, with that experience and that kind of never quit mentality, always choose your effort and have the mental toughness that through the adversity you're going to choose your effort and have a great attitude. So those are the pillars of kind of the program. But now with that kind of experience going in, I think this team has a lot of potential. We have a long way to go to reach that potential, but I think the potential is there for a championship.
What kind of knowledge do you have about Hill Murray? What can we expect from them this week?
They're going to be a well-coached team, with Pete Bursich over there, who is, has a lot of great experience with football, and him entering year 2, I think he gets a better feel for what his kids can do and just what skill sets each kid has. So it'll be interesting to see if they continue their kind of power eye offense from last year. Just from the film I've seen from their scrimmage, they were in the gun the whole time. So we'll see if they bring back any of the power eye or stick with a little spread offense as what they were doing in the scrimmage.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure we'll probably see some of that. Maybe both. You never know. So,
we'll be prepared for both.
Final thoughts on this. The Archbishop's going to be in the house on Friday. That's a pretty big deal, I think. And, it's going to be kind of he's going to be celebrating Mass with both teams. How are you sharing this with the kids about what's really happening before them?
Yeah, I think just to put it in perspective, that we're truly honored and blessed to have the Archbishop perform a Mass before our game, and that's a pretty rare thing, and not too many people can actually say that he came and performed a Mass for a team. So just given the perspective of how lucky they are and just how blessed we are to have him as a guest for us.
That's going to be really great. So I'm looking forward to that, and your kids and the Hill Murray kids are going to be part of that too, right?
Yep. We're both doing. I've talked to Pete on the phone a few times, and we're going to do Mass at 4:00. Both teams are going to be there, and then we always do a post-game prayer in the courtyard. So Hill Murray's invited to that, and I think they're going to attend that. And then I think the Archbishop is going to do an on-the-field prayer as well.
Wow. This is something else. I mean, we're very blessed, and it's going to be wonderful. So tip of the cap to yourself and Michael for making it happen.
Yeah, he's put in Michael Kautzman, our AD, has put in a lot of work to kind of arrange for such a special experience for both teams' kids.
Well, Coach, we'll be catching up with you next week. Let's be talking about a win, huh?
Yeah, I hope so. That's
all right. Cool. Sounds good. That's Jim Gunderson. He is the head football coach for the Academy of Holy Angels. We're going to do a Coach's Corner each and every week, catch up on the game that happened and the game that will be right here on the CatholicSportsNetwork.org on the Holy Angels, the Academy of Holy Angels page.